There's breaking news coming in. Big Al-Qaeda module busted by UP ATS in Lucknow a day after arrest of 2 Al-Qaeda terrorists. A massive manhunt is underway across Uttar Pradesh as 5 terrorists are still on the run. A high alert has been sounded off in the state as the suspects are learned to be carrying explosives. India Today has also accessed exclusive details from the terrorists. Terrorists managed to make cook a bomb in just 3,000 rupees. They used e-rickshaw battery for making bomb and were in a process of identifying target to unleash their terror activity. Upon investigation, UP ATS is conducting raids in 4 UP districts. 3 suspects have been taken into custody from Kanpur and 1 from Sambhal. The 2 arrested terrorists are going to be produced before the court at 1 p.m. today, where ATS is going to be seeking their custody. A special Delhi police team is also going to be visiting Lucknow soon. All of this to interrogate the suspects. India Today has learnt that a safari car that was found parked outside terrorist house could prove to be a key link in this particular case. According to ATS, IGGK Goswami, the car is said to have belonged to arrested terrorist Minaj's neighbor, Shahid. The car was allegedly spotted in several states, including Jammu and Kashmir. India Today's Samarth Srivastava also spoke to UP Law Minister Brajesh Pathak, who said that the call details of various suspects are being traced and no one is going to be spared. Here's a look.
इस मामले में कड़ी कार्रवाई करने का मन हम लोग बनाए थे और काफ़ी समय से हम लोग पीछे लगे हुए थे। जैसे ही वो घर पर मिले उनको धर दबोचा गया है। अभी पूरी जांच चल रही है। अभी कई बड़े चेहरे भी सामने आएंगे और ये तय है कि इसमें हम किसी को छोड़ेंगे नहीं। उत्तर प्रदेश की व्यवस्था को, जो शांति व्यवस्था को बिगाड़ने के प्रयास ये लोग कर रहे हैं, खून खराबा करना चाहते हैं। हमारी सरकार पूरी तरह से प्रतिबद्ध है। बहुत ही कड़ी कार्रवाई करेंगे।
कितने लोग सर एक्सेस में हैं? 2 अरेस्टिंग हुई हैं, जैसा कि कल एडीजी ने भी बताया।
अभी चूंकि जांच चल रही है, बहुत ही संवेदनशील मामला है। जांच के दौरान कुछ भी उजागर करना अच्छा नहीं माना जाता है, लेकिन ये तय है कि हम बहुत कड़ी कार्रवाई करने जा रहे हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश की शांति व्यवस्था को, माहौल को बिगाड़ने की इजाजत हम किसी को नहीं देंगे और हमारी पुलिस ATS हर बिंदु पर जांच कर रही है और कई लोगों के फोन नंबर्स और कॉल डिटेल्स खंगाले जा रहे हैं।
ये जो मॉड्यूल था, ये कभी भी किसी भी समय बहुत बड़ी घटना को अंजाम दे सकता था और हालांकि ATS चाह रही थी कि और डिटेलिंग कर ले, लेकिन चूंकि कोई बड़ी घटना न हो इसलिए इनको तुरंत कार्रवाई करनी पड़ी और 2 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया है। आगे भी जो है इनसे जो संपर्क में हैं उन पर कार्रवाई की जाएगी, लेकिन जिस बिंदु पर गिरफ्तार किया है, जो अलकायदा से लिंक्स पर जो गिरफ्तार किया, वो स्पष्ट है, एविडेंस कंफर्म्ड है।
And upon investigation by the arrested terrorists, what has India Today learned? Let's get it on your screens right now. We'll get you the 3,000 rupees DIY bomb. The accused used own money for the IED making of this bomb. Pressure cooker ID took 3,000 rupees to make, and that's the cost of the bomb. E-rickshaw batteries were used in the bomb, as we were reporting earlier as well. This is a 3,000 DIY bomb you're talking about. Terrorists were identifying the targets at the moment is what we're picking up. They used Telegram app to get in touch with Al-Qaeda. Remember, so they used the Telegram app. AF Pakistan border-based Umar was the handler of this particular DIY bomb. There's breaking news coming in at this point of time, cutting straight across to it after Uttar Pradesh. Let's get you the breaking news that is coming in at the moment. After Uttar Pradesh, now there's a red alert. MP is on red alert after arrest of Al-Qaeda terrorists from UP on Sunday. MP Home Minister Narottam Mishra has directed DJP to issue the red alert in the state at the moment. So Madhya Pradesh has been put on high alert after this terror module was busted by the ATS in Uttar Pradesh. MP is now on high alert. Hemender now joins us live for the very latest on this. Hemender, bring our viewers up to speed. What's going on after a UP MP is on red alert?
Well, the Madhya Pradesh Home Minister, Mr. Narottam Mishra, he has said that he has issued directions to the State Director General of Police, saying that a red alert be issued across the state. After 5 alleged terrorists, they managed to flee from Lucknow when the UP ATS tried to arrest them. So the Madhya Pradesh government is saying that they are trying to find out that any of these 5 people who are allegedly associated with the Al-Qaeda, they have any association in Madhya Pradesh. So The Madhya Pradesh police in the past have busted several SIMI modules, a banned organization. specific direction has been issued to the police to keep a watch on these people who are associated with the Simi module, as well as anyone who's having any sort of connection with the Al-Qaeda is also being monitored, and a red alert across the state has been issued, though there is no specific intelligence input regarding the terrorists having any kind of base in Madhya Pradesh.
All right, leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us with the very latest details right there. Heminder. Superstar Rajinikanth rules out his entry into politics. Thalaivar has dissolved his outfit Rajni Makkal Mandram that was set up in 2018 after his announcement that he would enter politics. The association is now going to continue as a fans welfare group. Rajni met with the office bearers of the association after he said that there were several queries on whether he would ever enter politics. Rajni returned to Chennai just a few days ago from America, where he had gone for his medical treatment. In a statement that was issued today, Rajni said there had been many questions on that forum, what it stood for. It also added that he will be holding a meeting with the members of Rajni Makkal Mandram, will announce his decision, whether he will be entering politics or not after that. On December 29, 2020, months ahead of the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections, Rajni laid to rest speculation about his big political entry when he announced he's not going to be entering politics, citing his health.
நான் வந்து அரசியலுக்கு வரப்போவதில்லை, வர முடியல அப்படின்னு சொன்னதுக்கப்புறம் நான் வந்து என்னுடைய மக்கள் மன்ற நிர்வாகிகளையோ ரசிகர்களையோ யாரையும் சந்திக்க முடியல. ஏன்னா வந்து அண்ணாத்த ஷூட்டிங் கொஞ்சம் லேட் ஆச்சு. அண்ணாத்த ஷூட்டிங் முடிச்சுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் எலெக்ஷன் எல்லாம் வந்த பிறகு அதுக்கப்புறம் கொரோனா வந்துச்சு. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்னுடைய வந்து மெடிக்கல் செக்கப்புக்காக நான் அமெரிக்கா போயிட்டு இப்போ நான் வந்திருக்கேன். மக்கள் மன்றத்தில் வந்துட்டு மக்கள் மன்றத்தை வந்து தொடரலாமா, அதில் பணி என்ன அப்படிங்கிற கேள்வியெல்லாம் மக்கள் மன்ற நிர்வாகிகள் ரசிகர்கள் எல்லாருக்குமே இருக்குது. அண்ட் நானும் வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து அரசியலுக்கு வரப்போகிறேன்னா ஃப்யூச்சரில் இல்லையா அப்படி கேள்வியெல்லாம் இருக்குது. அது நிர்வாகிக்கிட்ட அவங்ககிட்ட நான் பேசி முடிச்சுட்டு உங்ககிட்ட நான் தொடர்பில் விட்டுறேன்.
Pramod Madhav reporting from Chennai is joining us. Pramod, we always knew that he's not entering politics. Right before the Tamil Nadu Assembly elections too, he had announced that particular decision, that his foray into politics had turned out to be a bit of a damn squib at that point of time too. But now he is dissolving his political party into a fans welfare association. What does that even mean, and what does it even entail?
Well, it only means that only Rajinikanth can keep a full stop for a full stop, and this is how he has done it. This is a statement, and this statement, even before that, he met the press here and he said that there are several questions in the mind of the people and the fans about the future of Rajinikanth Makkal Mandram, that is the political arm, and also whether he's going to enter politics or not. Because back in 2020, he said that he's not entering active politics, but he will give some kind of extension support to any party, depending on his idea at that point. But for now, he has very clearly mentioned that considering the situation and the that they could not implement whatever he wanted to do, so that is like overhauling of system, to remove the corrupt system, he has gone ahead and decided to not enter politics and convert or reconvert Rajinikanth Makkal Mandram to the fan club, which it was already once again, thereby keeping a full stop to his full stop itself.
Well, full stop to the full stop. I like the way you say it, Pramod. Let's get our viewers up to speed with Thalaivar's political dash and how it all panned out. Let's bring that up on your screens right now. Backed the DMK in 1996. Backed Kaveri Water Stir in 2002. Backed the BJP AIA DMK in 2004. Met Prime Minister Modi ahead of the 2014 Lok Sabha polls. That was his political dash, expressed political plunge plan in 2017. If you remember, launched the Rajni Makkal Mandram also in 2017. In 2020, predicted party launch before the 2021 Assembly polls. 29 December 2020, cited ill health, ended the poll plans at that point of time because wasn't keeping well. On 12 July 2021, dissolved the Makkal Mandram, and now it is a fans welfare association. So protests have erupted in Tamil Nadu over unconfirmed reports of bifurcation of the state. Twitter and Facebook were flooded with the posts favouring and opposing the concept of creating Kongu Nadu, a separate state carved out of Tamil Nadu that is from the western part of the state, including Palani, Namakkal, Coimbatore and Nilgiris. The controversy erupted after BJP leader L. Murugan's post went viral on social media that showed him from Kongu Nadu instead of his hometown, Namakkal, which is his hometown. Reacting to the reports, DMK leader Kanimodi claimed that Tamil Nadu cannot be divided. In fact, even G. Balakrishnan called the controversy absurd, blamed L. Murugan for stoking it to get back at a controversy that erupted earlier this month over DMK, referring to the central government as the union government. But the BJP has indirectly extended its support for bifurcation, with BJP leader Karu Nagarajan stating that this should be discussed if this is what people wish for.
தமிழ்நாட்டை யாரும் பிரிக்க முடியாது. அதனால யாரும் அந்த கனவெல்லாம் நீங்க அப்படிலாம் கவலைப்பட வேண்டிய அவசியம் கிடையாது. அது நிச்சயமாக ஒன்றிய அரசு தான். ஏன்னா அரசியல் சட்டத்திலே ஒன்றிய அரசு யூனியன் கவர்மெண்ட் அப்படின்னு தான் சொல்லியிருக்கு. அதனால அதுல ஒன்றும் தவறு இல்லை. அது நாட்டுக்கு எதிரான ஒன்றும்
இருக்கிற மாநில மக்கள் விருப்பத்தின் அடிப்படையிலே தான் பல்வேறு மாநிலங்கள் பிரிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. சமீபத்திய உதாரணம் தெலுங்கானா. அதுபோன்ற அந்த பகுதி மக்கள் என்ன விரும்புகிறார்களோ அதை நிறைவேற்ற வேண்டியது அரசின் கடமை. பெரும்பான்மையான மக்களுடைய விருப்பம்தான் நம் நாட்டில் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளப்பட்ட ஒரு விஷயமாக.
The area that includes Kongu Nadu, let's bring that up, the proposed Kongu Nadu on your screens right now. Palani, which is right there, the red out there. Then there is Karur, which is right there. Then there is Dharapuram, right there if you see. There is also Thiruchengodu in Kongu Nadu, Erode as well. Pollachi is the other area that is of the proposed Kongu Nadu belt. Namakkal, there is also Salem, and there is Dharampuri too, if you see right there on the map. Nilgiris as well, if you see on the map right there. Avinashi, which is right there, the red that has come. Then there is Satyamangalam too in Kongu belt. Coimbatore, also a part of the Kongu Nadu belt. Udumalapet is the other area right there on your screens, and these are the areas falling under the Kongu belt of Tamil Nadu. Once hailed for the containment efforts of coronavirus, Kerala now is contributing to over 30% of the active caseload in India. In the past 24 hours itself, Kerala has reported 12,020 new COVID cases, the highest in the country with 97 fatalities. The state is reporting over 10,000 cases for the 6th consecutive day. The positivity rate is over 10% in Kerala. That means 10 out of 100 people who are getting tested for COVID-19 are turning out to be positive, while the average positivity rate of the country is over 2%, and the woes do not end here for Kerala. There are 6 districts of the state that are reporting over 1,000 cases in a day. As the third wave threat looms large over Kerala, the rising number of Zika virus cases is not helping either. 18 people have tested positive so far in Kerala. A central team of experts is in Trivandrum today to monitor the situation. It's also going to be meeting district administration officials to chalk out a strategy. Earlier, Chief Minister Pinarayi downplayed COVID situation, saying everything is under control. There is nothing to worry about, but the numbers say otherwise. And there is a fear of the third wave looming large, but there are COVIDiots galore right there in Nainital, if you see, without any fear of mass social distancing, of COVID, flouting COVID norms so openly right there on your screens. Most places in Nainital, tourists are roaming about without masks, not practicing social distancing. Now, experts are fearing the third wave of the virus is going to be harming children the most. But kids appeared in crowded areas too without masks, you see on your screens. District administration has enforced new rules to control the traffic 35 kilometers before Nainital in Katgodam and Bhuvali. Stickers are also being pasted on vehicles towards the Lake City, being sent through different routes. Fine of 500 rupees is also being imposed to the COVIDiots who are not wearing masks.
टेस्ट करवाया, ठीक है, वहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि वापस जाओ, वापस जाके टेस्ट करा के आया, फिर नैनीताल के लिए जो पहला कट आता है वहाँ से उन्होंने ब्लॉक कर दिया कि आगे से जाओ, फिर नीचे परेशान कर रहे हैं, अब यहाँ पे परेशान कर रहे हैं।
आप कहाँ से आए हैं?
हम लोग आए हैं फरीदाबाद से, सुबह 5 बजे के निकले हुए हैं।
आपके पास डॉक्यूमेंट
सब कुछ है, सब दिखा दिया, सारा कुछ दिखा दिया, टेस्ट रिपोर्ट भी दिखा दी।
In an exclusive conversation with India Today, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami on Kavar Yatra said the safety of people is of paramount importance and decisions are going to be taken accordingly. Listen in.
कावड़ यात्रा हमारी श्रद्धा और आस्था से जुड़ा हुआ विषय है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ हमको लोगों की जान माल पर कोई खतरा ना आए, क्योंकि कावड़ यात्रा कोई 1 लाख 2 लाख लोगों की यात्रा नहीं है, ये कई करोड़ों की यात्रा है। और इसमें हम तो उत्तराखंड के जो लोग हैं या उत्तराखंड जो राज्य है उसमें केवल एक होस्ट के रूप में है। उसमें हरियाणा भी है, उसमें दिल्ली भी है, उसमें उत्तर प्रदेश की बड़ी संख्या है, मध्य प्रदेश के लोग भी हैं, तो हम तो होस्ट के रूप में हैं। और लेकिन हमें देखना यह है कि यात्रा चालू होने से लोगों के जान माल पर कोई खतरा ना आए, जो कोरोना की बात है वो ना फैले। तो हमारे लिए सबसे पहली प्राथमिकता है लोगों की जान माल की रक्षा करना। और देखिए, श्रद्धा और आस्था का विषय है, तो भगवान को भी अच्छा नहीं लगेगा कि अगर किसी की जान जाएगी कावड़ यात्रा से। कावड़ यात्रा केवल उत्तराखंड की नहीं है, उत्तराखंड केवल एक होस्ट के रूप में। हम सभी राज्यों से बात करेंगे, अभी अधिकारी लेवल पर बातें हुई हैं, अगर उच्च स्तर पर बात करने की आवश्यकता पड़ेगी तो उसकी भी बात करेंगे। और हमारे लिए सबसे पहली प्राथमिकता है कि लोगों की
There's breaking news coming in. Indian Medical Association President Dr. J.A. Jayalal says holding any festival is not advisable as it can be dangerous. The IMA has requested the government to reconsider their decision regarding any kind of mass gatherings. Warning coming out there from the IMA amidst all these yatras taking place across the country. The Indian Medical Association is urging the government, asking the government to not host any festival. They are saying it is not advisable, it is dangerous. They are requesting the government, the IMA, the Indian Medical Association of the country is requesting the government to please reconsider their decision regarding any kind of mass gathering. So that's the warning coming in from the IMA. Will the government hear this warning or not? That remains to be the big question. There is a fear of the third wave which is looming large in the country. Amidst this, you can see many yatras taking place and religious congregations taking place around the country, and the IMA is going out there and requesting the government to not hold any kind of religious mass congregations as it can be dangerous. It is not advisable according to the doctors and the president of the Indian Medical Association. This advice, big question arising on whether the government is going to pay heed to this advice or ignore it. The annual Rath Yatra is underway in Odisha's temple town, Puri, amid strict COVID curbs. The Rath Yatra festival is associated with Lord Jagannath. Like last year, this year too, Rath Yatra is being taken out without devotees and only temple officials allowed to attend and to pull chariots of the Trinity, Bhagwan Jagannath, Balabhadra and Devi Subhadra. Under the COVID guidelines, only negative COVID report people are allowed to attend this event, and the ones attending the rituals were subject to RT-PCR tests, and only negative ones were allowed in Sri Mandir temple complex. The Supreme Court put a stamp of approval on Odisha government's decision to allow Yatra only at the main Jagannath temple of Odisha. Prime Minister Modi too greeted countrymen, saying that we bow to Lord Jagannath and pray that his blessings bring good health and prosperity in everybody's lives. More than 60 people in northern India have been killed by dozens of lightning strikes. Thunderstorms caused by the widespread damage to trees and properties. Prime Minister Modi expressed grief over the death of 20 people due to lightning strikes in several districts of Rajasthan on Sunday. The Prime Minister also took to Twitter and expressed his deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. Amongst the dead, 11 are from Jaipur, 3 from Dholpur, 4 from Kota and 1 from Baran. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Gehlot has also announced ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each for the kin of the deceased. Not only Rajasthan, but the lightning has killed several in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. 41 people have lost their lives in different places of Uttar Pradesh. Maximum deaths were reported from Prayagraj. Compensation has been announced in Uttar Pradesh. 2 lakh is going to be given to the relatives of the deceased, 50,000 rupees to the injured.
A terrible, devastating tragedy struck Rajasthan on Sunday evening and night, in which 20 people lost their lives due to sky lightning at various places. We are right now at Amer, where you can see a search operation is going on right now. Early in the after the tragedy struck on Sunday night, the members of the State Disaster Relief Force are trying to find out whether there are any more bodies to be found. You can see the rescue operation or the search operation that is currently on. This is the watchtower where sky lightning struck on Sunday. You can see the telltale signs out here. There are remnants of birds, there are slippers, there are specks that are lying around. This place, this watchtower, is about 500 meters away from the Amer Fort, and this is an arduous route which around 40 people took on Sunday evening to enjoy the rains that signaled the onset of monsoons in Rajasthan. But little perhaps they did not know what kind of tragedy awaited them.